Hello and welcome to WhatsMap for Cities Skylines, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. There are thousands of items on the workshop now, so finding the right one for your next city build is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review some using our 5-star rating and the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture out to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very, very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. BonBon here, how you doing? Right, it's Wednesday, and Wednesday is a day where I get to pick a map completely at my discretion off of the workshop. Now, I've been asked a few times, why don't I do more vanilla maps? And one of the answers to that is there aren't always that many good vanilla maps to choose from. However, one last week, Thumbnail jumped out and bit me on the bum, and I figured I'd put it on the shortlist, and it is now, given the maps that we're doing this week, a good one to plop in on a Wednesday. So let's have a look at it, shall we? Right, it's WoodsLand Vanilla by Devil Mike, and you're probably expecting lots of forests on this map, because WoodsLand, yes. For those of you that want a bigger build, I'm sorry, it is an island. What can we do, hey? The start square has a highway running through it, but no intersection, which we'll look at a bit later on. And the resources, I'm not entirely sure what you would do with those, to be honest. But there we are. Off to the workshop, and of course it is vanilla, so there's nothing to subscribe to, although we will be using the realistic 1.2 LUT because reasons. Okay, we're off in the fog, and this particular first bridge, because we are in the fog, I'm going to let it go. Okay, just for that reason, we'll accept it. We'll know it's not perfect. We'll let it go, but it's in the back of the mind, just niggling us. Okay, let's head down to this first bridge, which is in full view. Not in the 25 tiles, no doubt, but it's in full view. So now we can start really taking some interest. Now the bridge itself is a little bit wobbly here and there, and just looks a bit odd. Comes down to ground about right on the near side. I'd say that's about the right place to hit land. On the other side, however, it goes for another, oh, how many meters? How many meters? And then we reach the first intersection. Now, it's a bit sprawly and a little bit loose, if I'm honest with you. But let's have a look at some of the detailing. Like down here, we've got a bit of a jinky-janky section there where the roads come together but go back out apart. Now, I'd like it to be 2 lanes merging, or 2 lanes and 1 lane merging into 3, but of course we are vanilla, which means we don't have that option. So that's fair enough. I'm not marking down on that one. The actual bridge itself, once again, they don't start parallel, they're not level. It's a reasonably good height. I mean, it could be a little lower, but it's still reasonable. And the slopes are good. No problem with the slopes dropping up and down. So it's kind of half of it's there, more jinky-janky going on here. Half of it's there, but half of it is just a little bit too loose. And yeah, some minor fails going on with that one. Now, where this map, having had a few moans already, where this map picks up is, look at the view. This is vanilla. This is what Colossal Order could provide us with, and they don't. They fail. And so, Devil Mike, no matter what I say, no matter how badly I come down on this map at any point, just take that as a little pat on the back that you can actually produce a map that looks as good or better than anything that Colossal Order give us. So there we are. Anyway, so we'll follow the roads along, ignore the rail for now, we'll have a look at the rail in a minute. A little bit of glitching between the 2 highways, they are quite close together, and we are now entering the start square. Now consider there is no intersection, how close they are together, and so if you're going to want to build an intersection, because you will need to build an intersection right here into this zone there, if you're playing vanilla rules, you're going to have to demolish some highway, or use something like Fine Road Anarchy. But if you're playing vanilla, you won't want to be using Fine Road Anarchy because you're playing vanilla. So you're going to have to demolish road to be able to build. Now, just while we passed on the left there, I just noticed there's some glitchy road. And we can't go back and view it again because I've already recorded the fly-through. But yes, there's some glitchy road there. And I'm going to have to down mark on that one as well. Now we'll have a look at the rail. Let's get back to the start. Where's the rail start? All the way back there. There you go. That's rail starts there. It runs parallel with the highways. and it runs this way. Do you like trains? Do you? Do you like trains? Do you like the vanilla trains in the game? They are a bit vanilla, aren't they? So anyway, enough about that. Sorry, I'm just getting sidetracked. So yeah, it cuts down through the woodsland. There's not as much woodsland as you'd expect there to be woodsland on a map called Woodsland. And then we hit the bridges, and it's a little bit steep here. Doesn't need to be that steep. You could start a little bit higher with some terraforming. Comes down here, a little bit slopey down there. It's fine. That's okay. It could be smoother, but I could tolerate that one. And then we'll follow this all the way over here, where we know the bridges over here on the edge of the map are a little bit janky, to say the least. But we'll have a look anyway. And so off to Assetville, and today we're walking along. Now, we've seen this before, you're going to say, this particular one. This is the Jefferson USC station. It's in the top 20 as well. In my chart show, in the top 20. Oh, there's a train coming. Yeah, anyway, these vanilla trains, they are kind of awful, aren't they, if I'm honest with you? Except for, ooh, look. It's a CityLink Regional American Commuter Train by B. Schweikelhausen. This is pucker. It's really very nice indeed. Now, it doesn't sell itself to me because it doesn't look anything like the trains we have in the UK. It's one of these big things that seems to be, there's 2 stories high. It's 2 freaking stories high, I've noticed there. Now, that's a big train. We don't have anything like this in the UK that I'm aware of. Certainly not in my patch of the UK. There might be one of the sleeper trains, I guess, on the up the coast, the northeast. But no, nothing that I'm aware of. Anyway, CityLink Regional American Commuter Train. That is a beautiful piece of work. One of a few. You will need Advanced Vehicle Options mod to be able to activate this in your map, and I'll have a tutorial for that if you've never used that before. I'll have one of those come along in the next week or so you can add this sort of thing to your city. How cool would that be? Pretty cool, BonBon. Pretty cool. And then off to Themington Island, where we're missing lots of buildings because of the DLC update. And this was all recorded before I could do anything about it. The buildings will be back next week, of course. Anyway, the theme is Viceland Dark Pavement by Gay Tortoise, and we're using the relight Bleak Lut. And it's factoids time. Oh yes, factoids. Because of the lack of building space in Tokyo, many flats and houses are tiny. A Japanese speciality is the capsule hotel, where instead of rooms, guests occupy a tiny capsule, only 2 meters long and 1 meter high, each equipped with a sleeping mat and a miniature television. Ah yes, modern day YouTube would taught us all of these things, didn't they? Buckingham Palace in London, you know the place. It's linked to Heathrow Airport by a tube line. So if the princes, the princesses, or the Queen wants to catch a plane, well, they can just get on their own private little underground line. How cool is that? Okay, shipping routes. Well, pretty much what you'd expect, to be honest with you. We've got one line that loops all the way around the map at a respectful distance from the island. And when I say that, it's not going to interfere with any shipping routes touching in. So that's pretty damned nice. Very good. And then over here we have the water flow. Now, water flow on this map is a bit of a problem. I've just come in right down the sea level. Let's come over here. This is close to the start square. And once again, not seeing any arrows there at all. Into the start square down here by the docks. No arrows there either. So no water motion. I'm not even seeing one tiny weeny little arrow. There's nothing going on there. And if you're playing vanilla, you will be pumping. You will be pumping. Nothing there. And nothing there. Now if we come out to the edge, you can see there's a little bit of water movement where the water's been pushed in from the edge of the map. But there's nothing going on close to the land. And that is going to be a bit of a gameplay problem. Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look-see, shall we? We've got some pre-cut docks. They're pretty smart. A lot of people do that. I don't know if I like them pre-cut or not, but it's kind of handy. It's a shame that I say there's no intersection to start with. All the mountains, they are nicely tooled. This is probably, for me, the key part to the whole map. We've got a nice mountain there. We've got a mountain ridge going down the middle of the island, just separating things up and taking up a bit of the build plane, but what the heck. And then we've got a mountain ridge going down here. Now, one of the problems with the map for me is the amount of build plane. Not that it's an island. Oh, we've got a little lagoon going on as well. Little lagoon. Yeah, it's not that it's an island that's the problem, and it's not that it's, I mean, they are limited build planes, but it's what you can do with them, and I think the options are quite limited to what you can do with this map. Yes, you've got a couple of places and the valley, but I think you could finish building on this map within, I don't know, in one sitting possibly, if you're a skilled player and you play quite a bit. Okay, well, I've got some nice rock detailing as well, and there's another lagoon here with the bridge going over it. That's quite a nice lagoon as well. You might want to be draining that for extra build plane. Anyway, aesthetically, well, it's called WoodsLand. The woods are quite nice for vanilla. I'd like to see more of them. It's probably the high point of the map is the fact that it looks okay, and I do like the design, the general design as well. I think we'll give this down the middle 3. Detailing leaves a little bit to be desired, especially with the roads and the well, the lack of an intersection is essential, and the bridges and stuff. It needs a bit of work. I can only give it 2 stars. However, the rest of the work's pretty good. The gameplay potential, I'm going to give this 2 stars as well. Needs a bit more build plane or more options to be able to work with. It does need a start square intersection, given we're playing vanilla. It needs the roads further apart in the start square. It needs water flow. It needs quite a lot. It is kind of playable, but there we go. WoodsLand Vanilla by Devil Mike, and that is today's vanilla map of the day. Well, thanks for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing. Join me tomorrow. Now, tomorrow's map will give you deja vu. I promise you. Especially if you're a regular to the show, you'll feel like you've been here before, and I promise you, you kind of already have. So join me for that one, and join me. What day are we? Wednesday. Join me tonight for Far Lone Sales. A little bit of a steampunk adventure playthrough I'm doing. A bit of fun. Anyway, have a great day, and I'll see you very, very soon.